Assalamualikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Sisters, I hope you're all doing well in the best state of iman and health. Today, inshallah ta'ala, we will look into our lesson. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Rabbi sharah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Rabbi zidni ilma. Rabbi zidni ilma. Rabbi zidni ilma. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. لا يكلف الله نفسا إلا وسعها لها ما كسبت وعليها ما اكتسبت ربنا لا تؤاخذنا إن نسينا أو أخطأنا ربنا ولا تحمل علينا إصرا كما حملته على الذين من قبلنا ربنا ولا تحملنا ما لا طاقة لنا به واعف عنا واغفر لنا وارحمنا أنت مولانا فانصرنا على القوم الكافرين. Allah does not charge a soul except with what within its capacity. It will have the consequence of what good it has gained, and it will bear the consequence of what evil it has earned. Our Lord, do not impose blame upon us if we have forgotten or erred. Our Lord, and lay not upon us a burden like that which you laid upon those before us. Our Lord, and burden us not with that which we have no ability to bear. And pardon us and forgive us and have mercy upon us. You are our protector, so give us victory over the disbelieving people. So this is your lesson for today. Let's move ahead and look into the tajweed implication of this. Coming to the first word, La yukallifullahu. We have learned the rule of lam, that whenever there is word of Allah, and before that if we find zabar, that is fatah, or dhamma, that is pesh, we will read it with heaviness, thickness. It is la yukallifullahu. It is not lahu, lahu, L-A-W, lahu, nafsan illa wus'aha. In this, ayn and ha are your pronunciation parts that you need to be very careful of. Ayn is a letter where you need to put the effort, whereas ha is a very simple letter, so you do not have to put any effort to it. It's a very simple letter, so make sure you are not exerting any pressure on it. Wus'a, wus'a, wus'aha. Break like this and recite. It is not wus'aha. If you read wus'aha, that means you are reading alif and not ayn. And we have the waqf sign jim. You can stop and take a breath. Laha ma kasabat wa alayha. Here ayn again is your point of focus. It is not wa alayha. If you read alayha, that means you are reading alif. But in the text we have ayn, wa alayha. Before ya sakin we have zabar with lam. This is your hurufe leen. Maktasabat. Here, look here. Usually when people they recite, they go like ma'aktasabat. This is a general mistake that happens. Here we need to observe and carefully pronounce the kaf sakin with mim, not with alif. Maktasabat. It is not ma'ak, it is mak, M-A-K, maktasabat. Again we have a stopping sign, qaf lam ya, you can stop here. Rabbana. In this word, ra is your point of focus. We have learnt that when ra is presented with zabar, we will read it heavy. Rabbana. It is not rabbana, rabbana. La tu'akhidhna. In this, kha and za is your point of focus. When you are reading khidh, there are two things. One thing is there is a vibration in your throat. Khidh. For za, when you are stopping on za, your tongue will come out and it will touch the upper part of the teeth. Za. Khiz. It is not khiz. Your teeth will not, both the jaws will not touch each other like it touches for za. Z. It is khiz. Na. Again you have mad, you need to stretch it to 4 to 6 counts. Inna sina. Ya sakin before we have seen with zair, this is huruf madiyah, so 2 counts because we are continuing. For noon, because it has mad, you need to stretch it to 4 to 6 counts. Aw akhta'na. Here kha and ta are your point of focus. Akh ta. It is not ta'na, it is ta'na. So because hamza is having jazm over here, it will get a little movement. Ta, ta'na. Next word, Rabbana. The same implication has to be implied for the rule. Wala tahmil. It is not tahmil. There's a difference when you're reading tahmil and tahmil. So here we have ha. So make sure that you keep the appropriate pressure on the letter ha. Tahmil. Alayna. Again, a is your pronunciation part where you need to focus, whereas ya sakin before we have zabar, this is your hurufe leen, and noon with the mad you need to stretch it to 4 to 6 counts. Next is isran. Here sod is your sakin here, that is jazm. It is not isran. If you are reading isran, that means you are reading seen sakin, seen with the jazm. But here we have sod with the jazm. Is, you are going to have a whistle sound. Isran. Kama hamaltahu. Hamaltahu, again you have to focus on the letter ha. It is not hamaltahu, it is hamaltahu. Next word, alalladhina. In here you need to focus on ain and also the letter za. In the letter of lazina, you will see ya sakin. Before ya sakin we have zair, that is kasra. 2 counts that you need to stretch because you are continuing. Min qablina. Qaf is your point of focus here. It is not khablina, qa. Qablina. Our sound should be coming. Again, we are ending with the sign of waqf, so you can stop and take a breath. Next slide, Rabbana. Same thing that you need to apply over here. Wala tuhammilna. When you are reading the word hammilna, ha is your point of focus. It is not tuhammilna, tuhammilna. Mala taqata lana. Taqa, taqa. Ta and qaf are your point of focus. It is not taqata lana, it is taqata lana. Bih. Now, I am someone who gets shortness of breath, so I will stop here. Though swadlam, yeah, it is the waqf sign where it is preferred for us to continue. But if you are like me who cannot stretch it, you can stop with bih. Otherwise, if you want to continue, say bihi and then continue. Okay, you need to stretch on the ha. Bihi. Next is wa'afu. Here also the same logic that we are applied, the same rule we have applied for the word of maktasabat, you need to apply the same for wa'afu. What now? You can ask me that there is already an alif, there is something on the alif, and how do we read it? This kind of alif is called as hamzatul wasl. Hamzatul wasl is a kind of alif which is only utilized, which is only used when it is required. Now look here, ain is sakin. Before ain sakin we have alif, that is hamzatul wasl. If there was no waw before hamzatul wasl, before this alif, we would mix it with the alif. We would join ain with the alif with appropriate harka. It has again its own conditions, and we would read. But there is a letter before this. Waw is present with the zabar, that is fatha. That means when it is not required, you can drop this, ignore this hamzatul wasl and join ain sakin with waw. Wa. It is not wa'a, it is wa. Wa'afu. Anna. Again, ain is your point of focus. Waghfir. Ghain is present over here. It is not waqfir. Waghfir lana warhamna. Again, ha is your point of focus. And with noon, because we have mad, 4 to 6 counts as you're stopping. Because there is a sign of waqf. أنت مولانا فانصرنا. Again, swad is your point of focus. There is a sound of whistle when you are reciting the letter swad. It is not fansurna. If you read fansurna, that means you're reading sin, not swad. Fansur, surna. على القوم الكافرين. Ain is your point of focus, Qaf is your point of focus, and in the end for the word kafirin, Ya Sakin is present. Before Ya Sakin we have Ra with Zair. This is Huruf Madiyah with stopping. We are not going to continue. As the verse is stopping here, we'll stop here. And this will be with 6 counts, 4 to 6 counts. Kafirin. So let's together inshallah read it once again, implying all the rules that we have understood. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. لا يكلف الله نفسا إلا وسعها لها ما كسبت وعليها ما اكتسبت ربنا لا تؤاخذنا إن نسينا أو أخطأنا ربنا ولا تحمل علينا إصرا كما حملته على الذين من قبلنا ربنا ولا تحملنا ما لا طاقة لنا به واعف عنا واغفر لنا وارحمنا أنت مولانا فانصرنا على القوم الكافرين. So this is your lesson for today. One thing that we all should notice in this lesson, there are two things that is happening very frequently in this verse. One is you have a lot of stopping signs, and other thing is you have a lot of mad. So what you can do is you can take the benefit of the stopping signs and make sure that your mad is going 4 to 6 counts. And because you have good pauses in between, inshallah ta'ala, it will be easy for you that you can recite it with beautiful recitation and along with implying the rules, inshallah. And your homework will be to memorize the lesson along with the pronunciation and tajweed rules that we have done, and also please revise whatever we have learned before, that is 9 verses of Surah Al-Baqarah and along with that Surah Al-Fatiha. If you have any doubts, do let me know. Jazakallah khair. Barakallahu feekum. Assalamualaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.